One of them walked away from Hollywood after her son died in a plane crash. One of them traded acting for a stethoscope and now works as a nurse in Los Angeles. And one of them, the quiet ex-husband, is the voice of Emperor Palpatine in Star Wars. This is the cast of Kate and Allie, then and now, 2026. And the transformations will leave you speechless. Number 8. Susan St. James. The free-spirited Kate McArdle, born August 14, 1946, in Los Angeles. She was already a household name long before Kate and Allie, winning an Emmy in 1969 for The Name of the Game, then charming America opposite Rock Hudson in McMillan and Wife from 1971 through 1976. Susan is 79 years old, and she walked away from Hollywood completely. After Kate and Allie wrapped in 1989, she moved to Litchfield, Connecticut, married NBC Sports chairman Dick Ebersol, and raised 5 children. But on November 28, 2004, tragedy found her family. A private plane carrying her husband and 2 of their sons crashed on takeoff at Montrose Regional Airport in Colorado. Her husband Dick survived. Her son Charles survived. But her youngest boy, 14-year-old Teddy Ebersol, did not. Today she lives in complete privacy. No social media, no interviews. She holds 6 honorary degrees from Connecticut universities and chooses peace over the spotlight. Our Kate traded 2 Emmy nominations for something far more precious: a quiet life with the people she has left. And before we meet the rest of this incredible cast, please drop a heart in the comments right now for Susan and her son Teddy. Let her know her Kate and Allie family is still thinking of her 37 years later. Your comment means more than you know. From the quiet heartbreak of our Kate, to a man who married into this show and 4 years ago lost the love of his own life after 39 years together. Number 7. Sam Freed, the charming sportscaster Bob Barsky, who married Allie in season 6. Born August 29, 1948 in York, Pennsylvania, a Penn State theater graduate who actually knew Jane Curtin from their days together in a Boston improv group called The Proposition years before either one became famous. Sam is 77 years old, still living in Woodstock, New York. After Kate and Allie, he became a character actor's character actor, playing editor James Whiting III in the legendary final season of HBO's The Wire in 2008. But the real story is personal. Sam was married to actress Barry Youngfellow for 39 years. They had no children, only each other. Barry passed away on March 28, 2022, at the age of 75. Sam has lived quietly in their Woodstock home ever since. A man who found love on a Kate and Allie set and carried it faithfully for nearly 4 decades. From a faithful husband to a name you may not remember from Kate and Allie, but whose voice you have heard commanding the galactic empire. Number 6. Paul Hecht, Allie's pompous ex-husband, Dr. Charles Lowell. Born August 16, 1941 in London, England. He earned a Tony Award nomination for his Broadway debut in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead in 1968. Broadway royalty long before playing Allie's stuffy ex. Paul is 84 years old, living in East Hampton, New York. And here's the secret almost no Star Wars fan knows. Paul Hecht is the voice of Emperor Palpatine in NPR's official radio dramatizations of The Empire Strikes Back in 1983 and Return of the Jedi in 1996. Millions have heard him without ever knowing his face from Kate and Allie. A working actor at 84, still narrating audiobooks, still performing in East Hampton theaters, still giving voice to stories. From a London-born Broadway legend to a small-town football player from New Jersey who flunked tryouts for the World Football League and somehow ended up in a Martin Scorsese classic. Number 5. Peter Onorati. The love-struck building superintendent Lou Carello in the show's final season. Born May 16, 1953, in Boonton, New Jersey, a standout wide receiver at Lycoming College, when football did not work out, Peter earned an MBA from Fairleigh Dickinson University and worked at Ford Motor Company until his wife Jeanette dared him to take a stand-up comedy class. Peter is 72 years old, living in Los Angeles with Jeanette, his wife of 37 years, and their 3 sons. After Kate and Allie, he played the terrified Florida bookie nearly fed to a lion in Scorsese's Goodfellas in 1990. He became Stanley Pearson on NBC's This Is Us from 2017 through 2022, and Sergeant Jeffrey Mumford on CBS's SWAT, starring in the first season and returning in a recurring role through 2024. Retirement? Peter Onorati does not know the meaning of the word. Before we meet our top 4, tell us in the comments, which Kate and Allie storyline do you remember watching with your family? Was it the Greenwich Village brownstone, the divorce episodes that mirrored your own life? We are reading every single comment. Let us fill this thread with memories. From a New Jersey tough guy who found Scorsese, to a little girl who was already the most famous redhead on Broadway before she ever set foot on the Kate and Allie set. Number 4. Allison Smith. Allie's spirited teenage daughter, Jenny Lowell. Born December 9th, 1969, in Manhattan, New York City. At age 9, she joined the original Broadway cast of Evita, alongside Patti LuPone and Mandy Patinkin. At age 10, she landed the title role of Annie and played it for over 1,000 performances. Allison is 56 years old, still active in the arts community. After Kate and Allie wrapped, she stepped into one of the most acclaimed dramas in television history, playing Mallory O'Brien, the daughter of Chief of Staff Leo McGarry, in a memorable recurring role across all 7 seasons of NBC's The West Wing, from 1999 through 2006. She married attorney Randy Grimmett, now co-founder and CEO of Global Music Rights, in Napa Valley on June 23, 2001. Together, they are raising 2 daughters. And in 2021, they made a beautiful move, purchasing the historic Stoneover Inn in Lenox, Massachusetts, which they now run as a family business. A Broadway child who grew up beautifully and became an innkeeper in the Berkshires. Speaking of growing up, nobody grew up on television quite like our next cast member. You watched him go from a bowl-cut little boy to an awkward teenager live on CBS every Monday night. But what he looks like in 2026, you will not believe. Number 3, Frederick Kohler. Allie's sweet-voiced youngest son, Chip Lowell. Born June 16, 1975, in Queens, New York. He made his film debut at 8 years old as Michael Keaton's son in Mr. Mom in 1983. 1 year later, he joined Kate and Allie, growing up in front of America across all 6 seasons and nearly all 122 episodes. Frederick is 50 years old. He studied theater at Carnegie Mellon University, then spent the 2000s playing intense dramatic roles, most memorably as Andrew Schillinger on HBO's Oz. He appeared in Pearl Harbor, Death Race, The Little Things, and Damien Chazelle's Babylon in 2022. And most recently, Chip Lowell showed up in Season 5 of Netflix's Stranger Things in 2025, playing a scientist in the episode Escape from Camazotz. He is now a serious dramatic actor, covered in meaningful tattoos the world never saw coming from that little boy on CBS. But the most shocking transformation on this entire list is not about Hollywood. It is about a young woman who walked away from fame entirely to trade her script for a stethoscope. Number 2, Ari Meyers. Kate's bright-eyed daughter, Emma McArdle, born April 6, 1969 in San Juan, Puerto Rico, she started acting at age 12, and at age 13, she was starring opposite Al Pacino as his stepdaughter in Author, 1982. 1 year later, she became Emma on Kate and Allie. Now, April 2026, Ari just turned 57 years old on April 6th, 13 days ago. And her story will stop you in your tracks. She left Kate and Allie before its 6th season to attend Yale University, graduating in 1991 with honors and a double major in philosophy and theater arts. Hollywood was never the goal. Today, Ari Meyers is a postpartum nurse and lactation consultant at a hospital in Los Angeles, spending her days helping brand new mothers hold their newborns for the first time. She traded Emmy ceremonies for delivery rooms. Some child stars chase fame forever. Ari chose something better, helping mothers. From a child star who chose to save lives, to the woman you have all been waiting to hear about, the Queen of Deadpan, the original Weekend Update anchor, and the heart and soul of Kate and Allie herself. Number 1, Jane Curtin, the one and only Allie Lowell. Born September 6, 1947 in Cambridge, Massachusetts, in 1975, at age 27, she walked into an audition that changed American comedy forever, becoming one of the original not ready for primetime players on the very first season of Saturday Night Live. Then came Kate and Allie in 1984, and she made history again. She won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series in 1984. She won it again in 1985, back to back. Then in 1996, she returned to NBC as Dr. Mary Albright on Third Rock from the Sun, holding her own opposite John Lithgow for 6 more seasons. Jane is 78 years old, and this past year has asked more of her than any role ever did. On a blind date at a hockey game in 1973, she met a quiet Boston Latin School graduate named Patrick Lynch. They married on April 2, 1975. They built a home together in Sharon, Connecticut, raised their daughter Tess, and welcomed 3 grandchildren, Emmett, Lola, and Finnegan. Patrick worked quietly behind the camera as a producer and art director on Saturday Night Live and American Playhouse, winning his own Emmy in 1985. On April 21, 2025, almost exactly 1 year ago tomorrow, Patrick passed away at their home in Sharon. He was 79 years old. They had been together for 52 years. And yet, Jane kept working. She starred in the indie hit Jules, opposite Ben Kingsley in 2023. She joined the Netflix mystery series The Residents in 2025 as Nan Cox. She is still showing up, still finding the work, still being the sharpest voice in the room. Tina Fey credits her. Amy Poehler credits her. Every woman anchoring comedy on television today stands on Jane Curtin's shoulders. She never needed to be the loudest voice in the room. She just needed to be the sharpest. Our Allie, our queen, our number one. Time moves so fast. 42 years ago, two divorced mothers moved into a Greenwich Village brownstone on a Monday night in March of 1984. And for 6 beautiful seasons, they let us into their living room. They reminded an entire generation of single parents that you were not alone. Now look at them. Susan chose quiet peace in Connecticut. Jane lost the love of her life last April and is still finding the strength to work. Ari is holding newborn babies in a Los Angeles hospital. Frederick is acting in Stranger Things. Allison runs a country inn in Massachusetts. Peter, Paul, and Sam, still working, still telling stories. A show about chosen family became a cast that stayed like family. So tell us, which transformation shocked you the most? Was it Ari becoming a nurse? Chip covered in tattoos? Susan walking away from it all? Or Jane, still standing, still working in the hardest year of her life? And here's the question we really want to ask you tonight. If you could go back to one Monday evening in 1985 and sit on the couch with the people you loved most and watch one new episode of Kate and Allie together, who would be sitting next to you? What would you give to have them there again, just for 30 minutes? Share their name below. Tell us their story. Because every comment on this video is a candle lit for the people we shared these shows with. Thank you for remembering with us tonight. Sleep well, and we will see you next Monday for another beloved story from the golden age of television. Good night, Kate and Allie fans. Good night.